All right, we are going to continue to talk about great electronics. The show's called Now That's Clever. My name is Guy. We have really cool stuff available for you. And if they're last minute gifts or whatever, remember, as I said, no guarantee shipping, but you can always try. Check out, when you check out, there's a little extra fees you can pay to try to get it at home for the holidays. But this has taken our shopping world by storm. It's called Samurai. This is a set of 2 safety keychains. And what this is it's peace of mind wherever you go, whether it's for you or for the kids. You can attach it to virtually anything, a handbag, a backpack, a briefcase, your belt loop, your keychain, obviously, because it is a keychain alarm. And what happens is if somebody bothers you, all you do is you pull the little tab on it, and I will let you listen. Yeah. Make sure you know how to put it back in. Just like that. Now that is going to scare away anybody that's bothering you. Just trust me. And we laugh a little about that because it's so loud, but you know what? It's not a laughing matter. When you're in the middle of a parking lot, maybe you're doing your holiday shopping, or maybe it's your wife, or maybe it's your kids in college, and they're going from their one dorm room to another, and all of a sudden a stranger comes and approaches them, and they're concerned. What would you rather have them have? This or nothing, right? You're dang right. You'd rather have them have one of these alarms. Let me show you. Everybody will get a 2-pack. I have colors available. I'll start in the front. This is gold. You get 2 of these. Love this as a gift for 29 bucks. We have them available in black. This color is called, I'm not 100% sure. Is it terrazzo? Looks like terrazzo. So I'm going to call that, even though it's not written on my card, I'm going to call that terrazzo. Silver, blue, and we also have it in, this is purple. Yeah, this is purple. So purple, blue, silver, terrazzo, black, or gold. We've got a bunch of these ready to go. So order them now. 5 flex on everything, only $6 and free shipping. Joe Harrison standing by. Joe, I know I took a little of the wind out of your sails by letting the cat out of the bag there, but I think one thing it definitely does, Joe, get everybody's attention, right?
Oh, you're absolutely right. And that's the thing. That's what you want to have. If somebody's attacking you, the worst thing they can see is noise and light. And this, you heard the noise. It's got a light on there too. But the thing about it is, if somebody is trying to attack you, and sometimes you're just walking out of your work, you're walking out of a parking garage, you're walking out of the grocery store, and you see somebody who's right in your way. And you're thinking, I just want to get past that person. But if they decide to do something bad, what are your options? What's your plan? Is your plan that you're going to yell? Well, if you start yelling, you can only yell about 85 decibels, and that can only last for about 10 or 15 seconds. Then you're winded and you start yelling again, and then who knows what's going on. And then you decide, let's call 911. Well, okay, that's a great idea. Let's call the police. Well, it takes them about 6 or 7 minutes to show up. And then at that time, that siren that's on top of their car, that's around 110 to 120 decibels. Or you can reach for your Samurai safety alarm. Like Guy showed you, it's got that special trigger system. We made it extra large, so it's easy to grab in an emergency situation, and then you yank on it. It's 130 decibels, the loudest alarm we're legally allowed to sell here in the United States. So it's louder than you screaming, louder than a siren, louder than a chainsaw, louder than so many items. It's as loud as a military jet taking off. And because it's so loud, it's not just heard in the parking lot. It is heard not 100 feet, not 200 feet, 600 feet away.
Wow.
And not only are you going to grab the attention of the guy who's trying to scare you, but it's also going to grab the attention of everybody else around you. And sometimes that's all you need is just attention. Because unfortunately, even this year, as we're not going out as much, there's a kidnapping in the United States every 35 seconds. But there are 3 attempts every second. So people are out there. It's just a scary thing. So as a husband, with my wife, with my kids have this on every one of their backpacks. Because we teach our kids stranger danger and those sort of things because they're bad people that are out there. Well, now when they're walking home from school, they can pull that ripcord. You can attach it to your purse so it's right there and ready to go. My neighbor, she puts it on her dog leash. So now every time she goes out, she's got that light that can illuminate the pathway, but then she can also pull that ripcord if somebody's bad coming. But guys, she also has a small dog. And with that small dog, sometimes the bigger dogs come around. So she'll pull that ripcord, scare away those bigger animals too. So it's designed to be on that keychain, Guy, because to me, this is as important as the keys to your house.
Well, and your point with dogs, you think we've got sensitive ears? Remember how sensitive a dog's ears are and their sense of smell. Their ears are really sensitive too. That's why they're so big, right? And they can hear a lot. They can hear a lot of things that we can't even hear, like a dog whistle, and it's very sensitive to their ears. So if it's great in things like that, even an animal attack, right? Whatever you've got to defend yourself puts you ahead of people that don't have it. And for me, Joe, for $15 each, it is the best money you'll spend on personal safety. Even if it's not somebody attacking you, Joe, you could be, heck, you could be in a parking lot and all of a sudden have a heart attack. Right? Nobody knows. You're sitting there laying there, right? Nobody knows. Pull the alarm, right? Because I don't think people have a real solid grasp, Joe, as to how big 600 feet is. 600 feet is 2 football fields. Do you know how long a football field is? It's 300 feet.
It's massive.
That's exactly a long ways away, all right? I mean, 600 feet is a good chunk of time. And you know, when you think about it, it's the perfect amount because anybody that's farther away would take too long to get to help you anyway. So it's the exact amount that you need to get people in your sort of perimeter there to be able to help you. And there's no other way. A lot of times you can't speak, right? You know, a lot of people that even have a stroke, their speech goes, and maybe they still have the ability to pull that. You know, and again, we're not talking about it as a medical device or any of that crud. I'm just saying, in an emergency, you want attention. That's the biggest thing you need, right?
You're exactly right. And the guy, there are 4 reviews. This is a customer pick on the HSN, but there are 4 reviews where people said they fell down and they pulled their safety alarm and their neighbors came to their assistance. Because when you think about, like, we have an alarm on our house because you want to scare the bad guys away. You have an alarm on your car for the same reason. Well, we have these at the house, and I always recommend when you first get it at home, get familiar with it, get comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And when we first got these last year, I wanted my kids to feel comfortable with it. Guy, we were setting this thing off, and my neighbor 2 houses down came running over, asking if everything was okay, because she kept hearing this alarm go off. This is 130 decibels. The alarm in my house that I'm paying $30 a month for is 110 decibels.
Yeah, this is loud.
This is louder than my house alarm. So if you are living by yourself, if you are, you know, fearful that falling down and who's going to be able to help me out, this is absolutely something that your neighbors are going to be able to hear, because you yelling is only 85 decibels, can only be heard about 50 feet. This is 130 decibels, the loudest alarm that we're legally allowed to sell. It can be heard through walls, but also can be heard up to 600 feet away. And it's great because it also comes in 2 boxes. You know, if you have 2 kids, you have 2 granddaughters, if they're individually boxed, just put a little bow on them. Perfect little stocking stuffer, because for me, this is that one gift where they open it up and they're thinking, okay, that's pretty cool, I like that. But that one moment when you're walking down the sidewalk, when you're walking through that parking garage, and you're thinking, oh man, I just want to get past this person and in my car. What is your plan? You know, for a long time, Guy, it used to be mace. A lot of people carried mace, but then you spray the mace and it comes back to you.
I know.
Or do you want to have like one of those shocking things? I mean, if you shock somebody, then they could use it against you. This, and I love the special trigger system. Guy, you pull this trigger system and you throw it. Because it's not going to stop for 15 minutes. They're not going to know how to shut it off. It's going to keep going.
And again, having the 2 lights. I mean, they're flashlights too. You have it on your keychain. Can't get it. You know, can't get the key in the lock. Right? You got a light right there, so you can do that as well. And Joe, you know what I love too, as opposed to mace or other ways to protect yourself. You know, this you can test very easily. You don't want to test mace, all right?
You're right.
You know, a lot of punk, you know what, kids sit there and, hey, let's see if the mace works, and you got to clear the whole dang room because the kids sprayed the stuff. I've had that happen before. This, you know, it works. So what Joe is talking about, there it is, that little point right there, when I pull that, and I'll do it again, I'm going to warn you, it's loud, all right? You ready? So let's say somebody comes up behind you and they're like, hey, lady, here's what you do. All right? Throw that away. You don't want this. Hold on to this and run. When you want to turn it off, simply put the pin back in. It's kind of like a little grenade, right? You put the pin back in and boom, it goes crazy. This is one of those things that, okay, maybe you don't think you need it, but I'm telling you, if you've got kids, I mean, don't you wish, when you read about kids that get kidnapped or kids that get just popped off the street, if a kid had the ability to pull that cord and toss that thing, you don't think the person that's trying to throw them in the back of a car would be like, oh, okay, get another kid, right? You know what I mean?
Exactly right.
You know what I mean by that. But obviously, stay away. This is a way to be able to save your bacon and you know, really avoid a terrible nightmare. And I think for that amount of money, it's worth it. Joe, great job. Love it.
Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, Joe, by the way, do you have time to talk to me really quickly about, give me like a minute, the Samurai infrared thermometer?